Welcome to the My Creative Days podcast, where we will talk about all things DIY, home decor, decorating tips, and creating a beautiful home on a budget. I am hoping our time together will spark a creative idea, help you plan your next DIY, or inspire you to finally tackle that project you keep putting off. Grab your favorite cup of motivation and let's chat. Hello and welcome back to the podcast. Today I'm going to talk about, we are knee deep into our latest flip house project. And so I've been sharing a lot about it over on YouTube and on Instagram, Facebook. I've done a couple of podcasts here about it. It's bringing up some different questions for different things. And so today I thought I would share one of those. And I'm going to be talking about 10 budget-friendly curb appeal ideas for your front porch. So this came about because I was talking about what to look for when you're thinking about an investment property. And when I was talking about this particular one, usually we are buying, whenever you are flipping or investing in a property, you are usually buying the worst one on the best block, right? Or the worst one on the block. And that is usually what we have done in the past. And this one, it's so crazy. The outside, the curb appeal, when we drove up to it, I thought, oh my gosh, there's going to be no way. Like, they're going to want way too much money for this. She's not going to want to sell it. You can go back and listen to the whole story about it, because I did have to negotiate with her for a long time. And she did come down considerably from where she was. And that was just because the inside was definitely not what the outside was looking like. So anyway, when we drove up to it, it had all new siding. It had a new roof, the air, the furnace, all of that was new. There was a new screen door on the side of the house, and all new windows. Like, it was just had so much going for it. It had a new poured like concrete patio at the front of the house. So anyway, there was just so much on the outside. I was like, what? What is going on? And then when we stepped in the house, we obviously saw that it needed a lot of work inside. But today I thought I would talk about, because we have done some of these things in the past and it makes the biggest difference. We have done a lot of these things in our house now. And they are budget friendly. They don't cost a lot of money, but it's going to give you so much curb appeal. And this is for somebody that, if you're wanting to sell a house, or if you're just wanting to spruce up the front of your house and just give it a little bit more curb appeal without breaking the bank. Like, I'm all about that. I'm just, I love to, if we invest our money smart, like spend our money that way, spend money on like experiences. But when you can do things to your home or whatever it is that you're doing, if you can save money doing it, like, that's just the way I'm going to go every single time. And so these are super easy and super budget friendly. So I'm just going to start. I'm going to stop rambling and I'm going to start. So number one, paint your front door. Our front door has been multiple colors. Just paint alone. It's amazing, because just paint in this flip house alone, that's it. I mean, we have a lot more to do, but the paint alone, when we first walked into it, it kind of had a darker brown. That's the wrong color to say. It's like a darker khaki color everywhere. But the walls were dirty and it was just dingy in there. And we brightened it up with the paint color and it just looks like a brand new place. I painted both of the doors on the house. Just a fresh coat of paint makes it look so much better. We did actually have to replace the front screen door, but I mean, that was under $200 and we can do that ourselves. So it's just those simple things, but just paint your front door. It doesn't have to be a crazy color. It can be, a neutral, but just, a pop of color or just a fresh coat of paint. If you've already painted it, you love the color, it may just need a fresh coat of paint. Makes the biggest difference. Add potted plants and flowers. If you are like me, I do not have a green thumb, but never for any indoor plants at all. It's just not going to happen for me. But we love to landscape and add bushes and flowers and things to our yard. Adding those around your front porch, around the front of your house, and then having potted plants on your, actual porch. It just adds like a little bit of life to the front porch, kind of just brings it to life. Look at your welcome mat. Is it dingy? Has it seen better days? Is it just time to spruce up your welcome mat? That alone can make a big difference. And sometimes when you've had a welcome mat that's been on the front porch or whatever for a long time, once you pull it up, maybe you need to power wash the front porch that it's on, just because a good cleaning, I'll get to that, but a good cleaning goes a long way as well. Install outdoor lighting. You don't even have to, there's so many solar options right now. So it's not even like you have to hire an electrician. You can add a lot of different solar lighting to the outside of your front porch. You could do string lights. You can do lanterns. There's a lot of affordable options where you don't have to hire an electrician at all. A wreath. You can hang a wreath on your front door. Maybe you have like a little fence on the front porch. Maybe it's in front of or between like two windows. Maybe it's on, if you've got an enclosed porch, maybe it's on, one of the outside walls. But again, it's just, they're budget friendly. They're easy to make. You can customize them to suit your taste, the style of your home, the season that you're in. But again, just kind of spruces up the front porch without having to do a lot. Add a porch swing or rocking chairs. We have two of our favorite chairs out on the front porch when the weather starts getting nice. A little table there. Maybe you add a couple of pillows on the swing or on the rocking chairs. It just invites people in. It just gives that like, sit down here, come to my front porch, relax. This is a great porch for relaxing and chatting. And, especially if you're trying to sell, right? That front porch is the first thing they're going to see. It's the first thing they're going to come up to. So show them what they can do with the front porch. Add seating, add a wreath, add some, potted plants. And so you can find porch swings and rockers and outdoor seating and that kind of stuff. Check yard sales, check estate sales especially. Your local restore, they have those things a lot and you can get them for little to nothing. So another one, this is a big one and I think people don't think about it, but refresh your house numbers. Maybe you've got tiny house numbers or maybe they just need to be spray painted, right? They're just kind of, actually ours, I could probably freshen up our numbers. The flip house, there is an outdoor light on the front of the house. On the sides of it, it's so funny because we've been in this about a month now and Matt didn't notice this. But on the sides of it, if you can picture this, it's like, it's black like iron. It's not really iron, but it's cut out and I think it's like a woodsy theme. Can you picture this? But on the direct front of that light, it's got the actual house numbers on the light. So we were thinking about changing it, and I knew the house numbers were on the light, and the house numbers are actually on the house as well. But I thought, oh my gosh, they went and got the actual house number on a light. So that I don't think the person that we bought it from actually did that. So I was telling Matt, he's like, so we want to replace that light. And I said, yeah, with the house numbers on it. And he's like, what? And so now that he knows that the house number's on there, he's like, maybe we shouldn't replace that. It's not an antique or anything like that. It's just like a woodsy theme. It's not my favorite thing, but it does have the house numbers on it. So, but just changing or refreshing your house numbers, again, makes a huge, huge difference. If you have any railings or like trim around your front door, your front porch, a fresh coat of paint goes a long, long, long way. We had a derecho storm here a few years ago, and people like a block away, they had a white picket fence, like the original, like a wood fence. And after the derecho, it was just in a pile on the side of the road. And it was all in good condition. It had just come up and out during the storm, and they didn't want to put it back. So we knocked on the door and said, if you're not going to use that, we would definitely find a use for it. And so we had it for a while. We stored it for a while. And then we were at my mom's, and it was actually after we got the puppy, Hilly. And I knew we'd be taking Hilly to my parents, like when we went, but there was an area in her yard that needed to still be sectioned off, right? Or closed off. And the white picket fence looks so good there, but it needed a fresh coat of paint. And once we got the fresh coat of paint on it, it was just like, she has flowers that in the spring and summer, they grow kind of through the picket fence. It's just like it was made for that. It just makes me so happy every time we go and see it, but it definitely needed a fresh coat of paint. So if you've been putting that project off, just do it. Just take the afternoon and get it done, because it's going to look so good when you get it done. Maybe it's a garden bench or a small table you need to add to your front porch. Just like a welcoming spot for guests to sit. And it just, adds charm. Now, obviously, this is going to depend on, your porch and the front of your house and how it's all set up. But these are just ideas that you can add just to add that curb appeal. And you can find outdoor furniture, like I said, you can make something, you can repurpose something that would work just fine as well. Just another simple idea. And then lastly, clean and maintain the porch. So that's what I was kind of talking about. Power washer is your friend on your front porch. That alone, oh my goodness. We've done that a few times. We have concrete. We don't have a covered porch, but we kind of have a concrete area that like goes up to our front like step kind of. And so it's needed power washed over the years that we've lived here. And every time we do it, it's so satisfying to power wash, like concrete or something. If you've never done it, try it. I love to do it. And it's so funny because I'll go out and do it, and then Matt will like come up behind me and he'll say, oh, do it this way or whatever. And then he just takes off and does it just because it is so satisfying. So sweep away the dust, the dirt, the cobwebs, the leaves that you've had there for a year because you just haven't. Get your, leaf blower out and just remove the grime, the old leaves, the dirt, all of that. And then just keep the area well maintained. And that costs you nothing to do all that. It just maintain it. And that alone will make the front porch look so good. So that's it. I just had 10 here. I listed 10 ideas. Again, all budget friendly, all easy to do. And it just makes the biggest difference on the front, the curb appeal for your front porch. And until next time, I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you very soon. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I'm grateful that you tune in every week and that you share the show with your family and friends. I love having creative chit chats with you, and my hope is that this podcast will inspire you to try a new project, start a DIY that you've been putting off, and decorate your home exactly how you want it. There are a few ways you can help us with the podcast. Follow the podcast so you don't miss an episode. And if you could take a few minutes to leave the podcast a review, that would help us so, so much. Again, thank you for being here, and I look forward to our chat next week. Bye-bye.